Jaya Shiva Rajaya here from vitalcoaching.com. The topic for this video is why do you fight with your partner? Where does all this drama come from? So let's look at relationship dynamics and see what is it that is the drive to create drama and conflict in your relationship. There are two things that come up when I think of that. The first one is that it's controlling patterns. It's either you trying to control the other person or the other person trying to control any aspect of your life. It's your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, your actions, what you wear, what you don't wear, how to use your time, your career choices, how you spend your money, this kind of thing. So that's going to create a conflict. It's your attitudes that need to change in order to accommodate the other person. So this desire to control each other is what is going to create, tend to create a conflict in a relationship. If you look back to the source of what actually generates this conflict in your couple or in your relationship with a lover, it is very often systematically redirected towards this pattern of control. Another element that comes into the picture, and this one is very powerful once you wake up to that realization, it is to feel alive. So let me explain that a little bit more. You might go through your day and not much is happening. You are just going through your day, maybe doing things that are not necessarily interesting. And then your system is needing a fix. It's needing a rush of cortisol or adrenaline or something that is going to make you alive. If something exceptional happens at that moment, like lightning, for instance, a flash of lightning, then that lightning is going to create an explosion of energy in your system, fear or a reaction that is going to make you feel alive. And so when you are in a relationship and you're kind of flatlining, a good way to bring back life force and excitement in your relationship, if you don't know how to access other techniques, is to start a fight. And I had friends in my circle, coaching clients, who told me that multiple times. They say, sometimes I just want to pick a fight. And I don't know where it's coming from, but I just feel like this is what my system needs. And so you go for it. So it's important to realize that if you have a day which is kind of flatlining and then suddenly you have a fight, that fight might be the energetic peak experience of your day. That might be the moment that is going to anchor itself in your field, sometimes as a traumatic experience. But the point is this, it is that there is going to be an adrenaline rush or a set of biochemical reactions happening inside of you that are going to make you feel alive. Okay? This is a very important dynamic to understand, because if you don't understand the source of what triggers the desire to engage into a conflict with somebody, you will be like, why are we doing this? And the very reason why we do it is because when we engage into a battle, into an emotional battle, or we engage into a conflict, there is a rush or an increase of survival power. Energies come and invest themselves into your system that basically increase your feeling of being alive. You feel more alive. You feel like there is more energy inside of you. If you are laying down on the floor, or if you stand up and go for a jog, the moment you are jogging, there is more energy streaming through you. Okay? So if you realize that, this is one of the core roots of starting fights in your couple, in your relationship. It's a desire to expand, to move energy, and you go like, wow, that might be your best shot at actually having a peak experience in your day. And I know you go like, this is kind of crazy. Is this really the way it works? Well, check throughout your day, and you will see that sometimes the reason why you start a fight is simply because you might be bored. You might not be excited about anything major, and then picking a fight with somebody is the way your system has designed to have a peak experience. And so it's important to realize that, because if you are fighting with your partner and you end up trapped into these cycles, sometimes you go like, why are we doing this? We were in harmony 5 minutes ago. Why are we fighting right now? It's because the spirit of your connection is asking for a peak experience. And if you don't know how to access a peak experience throughout your day, you are going to feel like something is missing. It is a certain form of addiction. And so what you want to realize as well is if you feel like you need a peak experience, there are many things that you can do. One of them is pushing your limits, for instance, or pushing your body physically. Another one is engage into some form of enterprise or launch a business or create goals or create targets that are going to create or generate this rush of energy in your system. But if you are, in a position, for instance, where you might be just bored at home and not much is happening, what are you going to do? You're going to go online and watch how some people are arguing about stupid shit in some Facebook posts. And it's crazy because the fact that there is a fight, the fact that there is tension, the fact that there is conflict is going to activate a survival rush or a chain reaction of biochemicals inside of you that is going to create a peak experience in your system. And so if you don't want to fight, you have to find other ways of accessing peak experiences or high energy states or high flow states without having to access that, without having to access these qualities through starting a fight with your partner or with your lover. I want to say again, one of the other things that might be happening is the contraction or the oppression that you might be feeling in the relationship, which is a little bit the same as the boredom. It's like your energy dies out because there is something that is literally asphyxiated in the core of your relationship. So activating a fight is a way of activating anger or rage or frustration or emotions that are going to start generating a flow of energy, a flow of emotional intensity in your field, and very often that ends up with a fight. So the reason why we're checking that is really so that we understand and honor the shadows of relating, the shadows of sex. If you have a lover and you tend to enter into fight mode with that person, go and ask yourself, you go like, why am I doing this? Why am I making this person's life a hell? Or why is he attacking me out of nowhere where we're just having a harmony moment? So the reason why it happens again is because it's a very instinctual response. It's instinctual. Something comes from within that says, I need to feel alive. I need a peak experience. And this is how you might access it. This is just my opinion. This is what I have been witnessing in the relationships or in my social environment, in my social circle. I see people having just like a crisis situation. And the reason why this crisis is happening is because there is something that wants to express itself that doesn't have a channel of expression necessarily. So again, create freedom, liberation, free yourself from the asphyxiation that might happening in the contraction of the coupling experience, control patterns that you want to free yourself from, or you want to dominate or attack or challenge another person, and another one is just to access a peak experience throughout your day. Check in your own life, and I'm really interested in hearing about your experience. If you are somebody who has been in, engaging into fights, into conflicts, into drama in your couple or relationship, tell me why you are doing it. Why do you think you are doing it? Be transparent, be clear, just share with us so that we can all learn from each other's experiences. It's all a beautiful journey. Coupling and being in relationships and having a lover in your life is a beautiful experience. And if you are challenged by shadow outbreaks, it's good to check it out and go like, okay, well, let's figure out these dynamics so that we can master this thing, this fundamental expression of our lives. I hope this makes sense. To the Shiva Mu. Oh my God, this is pure gold. I love you. I'll see you soon.